Hey, so yesterday we looked at some of the commonly used terms in the IT industry. Okay, things like scope, change request, who is an SME, stakeholder, environment, regions, elicitation. What we said is whatever terms we are discussing, okay, we are discussing these terms because these are what we'll be using in our upcoming classes as well. And these terms alone will be actually help us build good habits as well, okay, for preparing for the interviews. Now with that introduction, today we are going to discuss about, or today we'll be focusing on three important topics. The first one is the IT team structure. Second thing we'll be talking about is different project size. And the third one will be our skills or competencies needed for a BA. So why do we need to learn or know about the team structure? So one thing that is important is, as a BA, when you start working, you must know what are the different people within the IT organization that you can interact with. Okay? So the team structure, it would help understand the different members of the team and how to interact with the team. Okay, so before we get started, like we discussed even during our demo series as well, the idea is to make sure that everyone understands, whether you are from IT or non-IT companies, that everyone understands how the IT team operates. Okay? Otherwise what happens is, you don't just have to focus on learning what a BA does, but you also have to learn about the IT industry, why it works, how things work, and all that kind of stuff. So it will be overwhelming at times that I have to learn so many things together. So if you build the basics, we just have to focus on the BA skills alone at later stages. Okay? Now, how is generally a team structured, what the team is called? Okay, so within the IT industry particularly, you will find two categorization of team. Okay, there will be one set of team, let's call it team 1, that focuses on developing or enhancing the product or the software. Okay, and there will be another set of team which is responsible for providing support for the product. Okay, so these are majorly the two categorization of teams that you will see within the IT industry. One set of team will be working on, developing or enhancing the product. Now different organizations can call this team differently. Some may call them as development team, some may call them as engineering team. Okay, sometimes it is also referred to as scrum team. The second type of team that is responsible for providing support, you will often hear the name production support team. Okay. Now, our target, our focus, where BA majorly contributes or where BAs are heavily involved, is in the first type of team structures. Okay, the teams that are responsible for developing or enhancing the product, because this is where a BA will contribute as well. A BA will not just work with the stakeholders to get the requirements, but also work internally with the team members to ensure that they understand the requirement as well, so that they can accordingly write code, do testing and stuff. Okay. So the development team, engineering team or scrum team is where our focus will be, because the second type of team, that is the production support team, it is mostly developers driven. Okay. There will be some issue in the production, like people are not able to use the software, and why are they not able to use the software is something that will be mostly analyzed by developers. So the proportion or the size will be less. Now, the ideal size of a development team, now that we are in agile model, is 5 to 7 members. Okay? This 5 to 7 members will have at least one BA. Okay? So one Scrum Master, one BA, and you can say 2 to 3 developers, and then similarly 2 to 3 QA persons as well. Okay. So for every one BA, you can have up to 2 to 3 developers and 2 to 3 QAs as well. Now that's an ideal size. Okay. That does not mean that in whichever organization you go, everywhere you will find 5 to 7 members only. Sometimes there will be more members. Organizations will try to cut down on members, try to split them on team. There will always be a reality, there will always be a difference between expectations and reality. Okay? That happens when even we say that we should be driving on the left side of the road, but you will often see people driving on the right side or on the wrong side as well, even though it will be written one way road, but people will still be traveling from all the directions as well. Okay. So there is certain expectation, you build something with expectations, but there is always a difference with reality. Okay. In real time the implementation may slightly differ. So that's the good thing about IT industry, that it's open for customizations, it is open for people's feedback as well. Okay. So whatever we discuss, don't consider that as the word of truth only. This is ideal scenario. If there is team size like this, we should be happy. Okay. It's a smaller team size, easy to manage. But if team size grows bigger than this or becomes smaller, that is also possible in the IT industry again. Now, in the second type of cases, production support, there is no fixed team size as such. There could be one BA and 5 to 6 or 7 developers. Like I said, production support is developers heavy team. Okay. Okay. This is developer heavy team, but majorly not lot of people are working here. I mean, not lot of people are doing coding here. Okay. So what these developers are doing, if clients are reporting any issue with the software, those issues are being looked at developer. So we need more developers than BA in the production support kind of areas. Okay. So that's where you may see one BA and then trying to manage with 7 to 8 developers. Again, there could be less or more numbers as well. But in production support team, you will not see any QA. Okay, here the development team or scrum team will comprise of BA, developer and QA. Here it will be BA and more number of developers. Okay, why not QA? Because there is no testing needed. The production support team is not responsible for making any code changes at all. If during their analysis, production support team finds out that yes, code changes are needed, then for those code changes, the ticket is assigned back to the development team so that they can make the changes. Now let's look at how this team one is structured, how they interact with each other. So this is typically the structure of a team. There will be a project manager or a scrum master who is responsible for managing the entire team. Okay. Now please note guys, there is this small box over here. Okay. So whoever you see inside the box, they are direct members of the team. Okay, so that means these people will be interacting with each other on daily basis, almost on daily basis. Okay, they will be working directly with each other. Whatever you see outside of the team, whatever you see outside of the box, okay, that means these are not direct members of the team, but they are more of support roles. Okay, so these people are available, not part of the team, but these people are available to support my team directly. Okay, so for example, a business analyst, developer, QA, and Scrum Master will form the members of my team. Okay, now if business analyst has any issues, suppose business analyst, as a business analyst, you require some type of training, or maybe you are working on a project and you want someone to review the documents that you have created, or maybe you have a scenario to discuss upon. Okay, suppose you encounter any technical issues, then whom do you reach out to? You reach out to the BA lead. Similarly, as a developer, suppose you are writing down code and that code is giving error and you don't know how to resolve it. What do? You reach out to your lead developer. Okay. So the leads are available to guide you technically, to put you in the correct direction, okay, to help you with your work if you are stuck somewhere, okay? Basically to provide you the technical guidance related to your work. And then similarly, we have QA or tester who, in case of any queries, questions, doubts, technical doubts, okay, will reach out to leads, their respective leads. Now, if QA or developer has any question related to requirements, or they want to further clarify on requirement, for those kind of things, they won't reach out to their leads. Okay? They'll reach out to the BA. So that's the key difference. Any project related queries, the requirement clarification part, developer, QA, or even Scrum Master will contact BA that we need more clarification on this requirement, or the requirement is not detailed enough. You have just provided high level requirement. Please add details, or the stories are missing, create stories. So all those kind of stuff, they will reach out to BA. But if they have any technical doubts, like how to create a test case, what template to follow for creating a test case, okay, how to fill up the template of test case, if they have any training requirements as well, okay, if they have lot of work and they want to discuss with someone on how to manage the work. So for all those, the people will reach out to their respective leads. Though leads are not directly part of the development team or engineering team or Scrum team, okay, but they are still available to these people to provide them the required source. Okay, so this is just one team. Assume that this team is responsible for creating the website. Then there will be a backend team. Then there will be product support team, like that there could be multiple teams. So usually the leads are shared across multiple teams. Okay, so that multiple members will be reaching out to them. It's not just one BA from one team or two developers or three developers from one team will be reaching out to the leads. These leads are more shared across multiple IT teams. Okay. So that's the part of interaction between the BA developer QA with their respective leads. Okay. Now, other than that, what you will also see is there's a role called product owner. Okay. Now, a BA is responsible for directly working with product owner. BA is responsible for working with product owner. So earlier, what used to happen in waterfall model is when we used to work in waterfall, and we will discuss this in upcoming classes in detail. But for now, assume that waterfall is some way of working on building a software. So in waterfall, what used to happen is BAs would directly communicate with clients. Okay. Then from waterfall, we started moving to agile way of doing work. So in agile, what happens is a BA would interact with product owner. Okay. And then the product owner is responsible for interacting with clients or stakeholders. Okay. So why we are keeping product owner in between? So that we have single point of entry to clients. Okay. Assume that there are multiple projects running. For every project there is a BA. So every BA will be reaching out to client. So one, by having a single product owner, we are eliminating multiple BAs reaching out to clients. Two, because of multiple BAs, there will be multiple solutioning and some will overlap with each other. Suppose I am building a website for the client. In that website, I am putting down some changes. Then some backend team is also adding similar kind of changes. Okay. So those will not help out. Okay, there will be some overlaps. So when product owner is there, product owner is responsible for ensuring the development of the product or the software as such. So then product owner will decide by talking to client what is the different type of work needed, and then based on the work, the product owner will assign the work to separate BAs, that okay, you do this part, you do this part. Just to give you an example, so right now we are working on health insurance projects, US health insurance projects. Okay. So what happens there is there are multiple teams as such or multiple applications within one big health insurance website. So for example, there is one team called product setup. Okay. So whatever health insurance benefits or policies that you see, they are typically done by the product setup team. Okay. Then there is benefit setup team. So under those products, what should be the benefits given, whether the customers will be eligible for ambulance services or not, whether they will be eligible for outpatient services or not, what happens if someone is smoking, should we increase the premium, what happens if someone is following a more healthy routine, should we decrease the premium, and stuff like that. Then there is enrollment team, which is basically responsible for processing any kind of enrollment related data. So suppose you really like a product, the benefits being offered by that product, and you want to enroll under that policy. So what you do is you send your data, and that data actually through various channels comes to enrollment team finally. An enrollment team is responsible for processing your data and adding it to our database, and if all successful, send you an ID card as well. Then we have billing team, which is responsible for ensuring that whenever your premium is due, a notification is sent to you to pay the premium. Okay. So billing team is responsible for calculating your dues and ensuring that all your dues are clear so that your policy remains active. Then there is accounts receivable team, which is responsible for tracking payments against whatever bills were generated. So billing team has just generated the premium notice and they will stop the work there. Then accounts receivable team will start coming into picture to see if you have made payments, whether through banking channels, through check, through credit card, debit card, whatever way it is, whether you have made payments or not. If you have made payments, the account receivable team will update billing and enrollment team that I have received payment, so we continue to keep the member active. Okay. Now these are just 4 or 5 applications I'm talking about under health insurance. There are other applications as well, like claims processing, provider configuration, but we will not go in all those details. The idea is that one application can have multiple sub applications. For example, here under enrollment, data processing could be one such sub application. Okay. Then generating ID cards could be another sub applications. Okay. Then suppose if there are members policies end date or cancel date is approaching, then sending them renewal letters. If their birth dates are approaching, sending them birthday letters. So different type of, you can say, letters being sent by the enrollment team. So that could be another smaller sub application. So one main big application can be a set of multiple smaller applications. These applications will again have multiple sub applications, and there you have multiple product owners sitting here. Okay. Now as a BA, now the product owner that is responsible for data processing will talk to clients. Okay. Get the requirements. Require, when I say requirements, these are just the understanding of what needs to be done. Okay. And then look at which BA can take up the work. So again, under data processing you can have multiple teams. So there could be IT team 1, IT team 2, and then IT team 3. Let's say that under data processing we have 3 IT teams. It's a big huge chunk of work, so that's why we have lot of teams under it. And now the product owner, when they work with clients to get the requirements, the product owner gets to decide which team is actually responsible for doing the work, and then accordingly the BA from that team will start working with product owner. Okay. Now mostly if as a business analyst you have any questions, doubts related to requirements, even your first point of contact will be product owner only. Okay. If product owner doesn't have answers to your question, either product owner will ask client and get you the answer, or the product owner can tell you, hey, you know what, why don't you directly reach out to the client and start talking to them. Okay. That's up to the product owner, but the regular protocol is we will not bypass product owner and directly go to client. Okay. There is no direct working unless product owner has given their approval. Okay. So when you start working as a BA in your IT team, your first point of contact related to getting requirements is product owner. Okay. All your questions will be directed to product owner. Consider product owner as your stakeholder. Okay. If product owner doesn't know anything and if they direct you to reach out to clients, then you reach out to clients. If product owner wants themselves to go to client, get answer to your question and then give you that answer, that is also okay. Okay. Whatever product owner decides, but we will not bypass the product owner. Okay. Now there could be certain IT companies that may not have product owners, because of the small size of the company. Maybe it's smaller in size, and it cannot afford to keep multiple people. If you keep multiple people, you will have to pay them salaries also. Okay. So being a startup, maybe you don't have that much budget, or you don't have that much luxury. So in such cases, as a BA, whatever questions you are asking to product owner, in such instances, you will directly ask to client if there is no product owner in between. That will be like working in a waterfall model. Okay. So the my end person with whom I am asking client may change, but the kind of questions I am asking, the kind of work I have to do, that still remains same. Okay. Then on top of all this, we have a technical architect available. Okay. So a technical architect also helps support mainly business analyst and developers. So business analyst particularly, because if we have any requirements, technical feasibility related question, that is this looking feasible. I have written down some requirement, but I have some doubt whether we can implement it or not. Okay. How can we implement it? Like we discussed yesterday, technical architects will be responsible for creating those blueprints or designs by looking at your requirements. Okay. Then those blueprints or designs will come as input to developer. So a developer may get input both sorry a developer will get input as requirement document from BA, and design document from either technical architect or either lead developer. Okay. So that's how these different people that we studied yesterday, we talked about technical architect, BA lead, developer lead, tester lead. Okay. So how these multiple people will interact with each other in order to execute any kind of development related work. Any questions so far? Okay, I'll take the silence as no questions. So now what we will do is, we will look at another smaller concept, that is project size. Uh, Maybe in the starting when you are working as a BA, okay, this will help you plan your work. But as you gain more skills, as you gain more experience over the time by working as BA, okay, you will automatically start doing planning. You don't need to take into consideration the project size as such. Now generally what happens is, suppose if you have to go out for shopping, if you have to go out to buy anything, what happens is you set aside a budget for it. Okay. That I will be spending some, let's say 20,000 Indian rupees or 1,000 US dollars. So whatever be it, you will set aside a budget for it, and then you will try to adhere to that budget. Okay. The same thing happens in the IT industry as well. Every client will have a fixed budget, that on the IT related projects, on developing my software or enhancing my software, let's say I can spend 1 million US dollar, but not more than that. So that's the budget set aside for me. Now I may have different kind of initiatives running, so I have to now pick and choose. Okay. So how are budgets determined? So we have budget restrictions by clients. Okay. Now how does a project knows how much money it is going to take? Okay. So client may want, let's say they want to build a new application, or maybe they want to modify an existing application, or maybe the government has brought in some regulatory changes. They want to adhere to those regulatory changes. Okay. So like that, there could be multiple type of work that could be needed, or maybe they need regulatory changes plus they need some new features in the applications as well. Okay. So what happens is, as we discussed yesterday, clients will raise clients will raise CR for all the work that is needed. These CRs will be evaluated, and once evaluated, a rough estimation will be provided to the client. What we call it as a ballpark estimate. Okay. Now this estimate will help identify the client what how much money I will have to pay. Okay. So eventually client is paying for every person, maybe for every hour that we are working. So whatever estimate we give, the estimate, we are not giving the budget directly, but we are providing estimates, and those estimates will help identify the budget. So estimates will help provide the budget. Okay. So based on that, now the clients can decide whether it falls, how important the project is, how much time or how much money this project is going to cost me. So based on that, now the client can decide whether we should go forward or not. Okay. Now depending on the estimates, even we can segregate project into different categories or sizes. The first one is small projects. Okay. These are the projects that are typically less than equal to 500 hours of estimate. When I say 500 hours, it means I am talking about the entire development team. Okay. Not just BA, not just developer, not just QA, the entire development team efforts. So 500 hours is basically effort of everyone, development plus management as well. Then we can have medium scale projects. Okay. So these are typically the projects that are greater than 500 hours, but they will take somewhere less than equal to 1500 hours. Okay. Again, these estimates are for the entire team and not just a particular person alone. Then we have large scale projects. Now, these are typically consuming anywhere between 1500 hours to, let's say, 3000 hours. And then we have a last category called complex projects that basically cover anything that is more than 3000 hours of effort by the development team. Okay. Development team will include developers, QA, tester, and your project manager or scrum masters as well. Okay. Now, how does knowing the estimate and then accordingly the project size will help me plan my work? Okay. So generally a 500 hours worth of effort indicates to me it's a small change. Okay. So let's take this for example. Right now I'm showing this zoom percentage at the bottom of this notepad. Okay. It says 100%, but whatever it is showing, it is appearing at the bottom, specifically the bottom right side of the taskbar. Now I want this zoom percentage to be displayed on the left side. Okay, I want this total character count to be displayed on the right side, and zoom and my encoding must come on the left side. Okay, so I'm not asking really for a big change. Okay, a small change like this. Maybe I don't like the font size, so maybe I want to change the font size. Maybe I want to restructure these options that are available. Okay, I want to move them back and forth. Or maybe I'm owning a website, and in that website, because of festival seasons approaching, I want to run a banner that I am running 20% discount. But that changes, I only want to run for specific duration. So, like for next 10 days, only run this banner. After 10 days, then stop running it. Okay. So some very small minor changes. Okay. Or maybe I'm printing ID cards with first name, last name. Now what I want is, in the ID cards, I want to include middle name as well. Okay, not just first name, last name, add middle name of the people. So these are very small projects. Obviously, they will not take more than 500 hours. So generally, the idea is that development team alone will be able to handle the work. Okay. So if I talk about my development team alone, so any small work can be handled by my team directly. They don't need outside support except for product owner. Okay, see, product owner is the only person, with whether it's a small project, large projects, medium scale projects, or complex, they will be involved, because there, from that is where a BA is getting their requirements. Okay, but the technical architect support or lead support, it may not be needed extensively, or even unless you face some problem. Okay, because the idea is that it is such a small work that you can do it yourself. Okay, you can do the design yourself. If needed, you can directly talk to clients if product owner allows. So basically, you don't need much of outside support. Now when it is a medium scale project, then it means that there will be a little more complexity to the work. It will not be that straightforward, that move these options, display banners, add a middle name to the ID cards as well. It will be slightly more complicated. Maybe someone will ask you to clone an existing process. Okay, so here the development team might not involve an architect, but they will work with their respective leads as such. So as a BA, if I want to check the technical feasibility of my requirement, whether those requirements can be implemented or not, then rather than reaching out to the architect, in such case I will be reaching out to the technical lead, or the development lead, or the developer lead. Okay, so that way, when I see a medium scale project, probably I know that it's still not that complicated. So maybe as a BA, I will be reaching out to the technical lead for running those technical conversations or checking the technical feasibilities. Similarly, when it's a large project or a complex project, that means now I know that maybe not just the development team plus their leads plus the technical architect will also be required over here. Okay, so now I know that maybe the project is such complex in size that I will have to initiate discussions with technical architect first, and then the leads must be present to guide respective developer at appropriate stages. Okay, because it is such a complicated project that my team may get doubts, and you may not reach out to technical architect every time. So again, getting back to our example of constructing a house, what happens is you call in the architect, build the blueprint. Then on day to day basis, what happens is all the laborers will be talking to mason only, that what should we do next, what happens next, we are stuck over here. Okay? On a day to day basis, the mason is responsible for ensuring that every developer, every labor gets to do the work that they are assigned to. Okay? And then the mason, if any doubt, will talk to the architects. So the same thing happens in large and complex size projects. So mostly the technical architects will create the blueprint. Once done, leads are responsible for ensuring that those blueprints or designs are implemented, or keep guiding the team as per the designs. So maybe in the starting, as a BA, when you start up, the estimation and the project size will help plan that, okay, it's a small work. I can directly work with my development team. That's the expectation. That does not mean that every developer is smart, everyone knows everything, and that you don't need anyone's help. But that's the way to plan things. Then if you're working on a medium project, probably I need more of technical lead support, and then technical lead can internally, guide the developer. And similarly, if it is a large or complex scale projects, then it is more of the team, I mean BA working with the architects and the technical lead as well, so that I will accordingly know that I may have to run down separate meetings with architects, with BA, sorry, with developer. Plus, this project being complex in size, my developers may come back to me asking for clarification more than once. If it's a small project, maybe they will understand it one shot. But if it's a complicated project, maybe they will ask me doubts 4, 5, 6, 10 times. Okay, so obviously it is going to take more efforts on my side as well to explain to them. Even it will take more efforts on my side even to work with my stakeholders to get the requirements as well. So that's how the knowing the project size, the efforts, will help you plan your work efficiently. But once you gain sufficient experience, you no longer have to worry about the project size and all those things. Just by hearing the project itself, you will realize whether it is a complicated one or not, and that how do you need to approach the work. Okay. Now, before we move forward in the class, thanks to all of you who have enrolled for the sessions. Okay, so we are almost done setting up new link for the classes starting from tomorrow. Okay, so those who are yet to enroll in the session, please do get enrolled, as you will be getting different classroom links starting tomorrow. And also there will be a dedicated WhatsApp group set up for the batch, wherein they will have access to all the conversations, asking doubts as well. And there will be a separate Google Classroom link where all the notes plus the assignments will get uploaded. Okay. Other than this, you will also get link to the Google Drive, which will have access to all the recordings that were made so far and the upcoming classes as well. Okay. So thanks to all those who have enrolled, and those who are yet to enroll, please get themselves enrolled, okay, so that you continue to receive all the benefits. Okay. Now getting back to our topic, the last topic for the day is skills or competencies that are required as a BA. Now we all talk about the work that a BA does, that you have to maybe interact with multiple people, okay, whether internally, whether externally. You have to build some good documents. Okay, you have to ensure that you are proactively working with these stakeholders to keep them updated. Okay? So all these kind of work that you do as a BA obviously requires certain level of skills. Okay? Now what are those skills that are actually needed for you to do your job effectively? Okay, so all those skills needed by BA can be put into six categories: analytical thinking, problem solving, behavioral characteristics, business knowledge, communication skills, and interaction skills. Okay, under each category you can see multiple, or you can see the exact skills that are needed. Okay, for example, analytical thinking, what analytical thinking contributes is your ability to analyze problems. Okay, oftentimes BA or other BAs or developers or even the stakeholders themselves, they will come to you with a problem. Okay, this is my problem. For example, I want to build a website for my company. I don't have a website. Is that a problem? You can call it a problem, or you can call it an opportunity as well. Okay. So first thing is, I must be able to learn what the client is actually looking for. Okay. I must be able to design or put together some theoretical concepts about how can we build their websites, what are the different features that they need. Based on the features that my stakeholder requires, how can I build a website for them. Okay, then those all things require analytical thinking, your ability to analyze information that is presented to you, and by analyzing the information, how can you take it forward. Okay, the first part, whether you are a developer, QA, BA, or anyone, the first part that we do is to analyze the data that is presented to us. Okay, even if I tell you that you have to be in office by 11 a.m., you will quickly start doing the analysis. Okay, today is Wednesday, today is Thursday. Okay, so there will be lot of people traveling to office. If I have to reach office by 11, that means I'll have to face huge traffic if I start now. All that kind of analysis you'll start doing, okay, before you come up with a final solution or decision. Okay, so that is where our next skill lies, the problem solving part. Okay, so often you will see it is easy to find problems but difficult to provide solutions. Okay. So I can ask you 100 questions that how are if you tell me that Rahul, we have to build a website, I can ask you how to build a website, what kind of skills do we require, what technology are we going to use, what should be the features, and in that features also, no, it is complicated, it is difficult. But as a BA, that is where we want our job to be providing directions to the team. Okay, if there are any conflicts, help resolve those conflicts. Okay, some of the questions or the answers that we provide to questions on requirements are actually helping the team solve their problems. Okay, and sometimes all you have to do is listen to the team members. Okay, how many problems are they presenting, just listen out to them. Sometimes by listening alone you will get the solution, that how can we bypass, because by nature, if you see, human beings are problem solver. It's only when it comes to the work we take it as a complicated concept, but it is not. Okay, suppose if I tell you there will be huge traffic in the upcoming 10 minutes, but you have to reach office on time, what will you do? Immediately you will start finding solutions. How? You will say that I will not travel by car today, I will travel by two wheeler. It is easy to navigate in the traffic as compared to four wheelers. Or you may say that I have to reach office by 9 a.m., so even if there is traffic, no problem, but I will go in taxi or cab today, so that get I don't get the tension of traffic, how to navigate, drive, or I am not feeling exhausted. Okay, so what are these activities? Driving by, riding a two-wheeler, or opting for a cab. Okay, what are these? These are solutions to the problem of traffic. Okay, so by default, human beings are problem solvers. It's just that we have to extend the same concept in the world of IT as well. Okay, Then the last one is behavioral characteristics, that is more towards, maintaining an honest, ethical working standards rather than, working with untrustworthiness. Okay? So whenever we work with stakeholders, we always want to ensure that we maintain high level of ethical standards, that we maintain honesty, that there is trustworthiness. The stakeholders trust me that whatever solution Rahul is providing, that solution is in the benefit of the stakeholder. That though Rahul is representing the IT company, he's not providing some suggestion for me to sell. Okay, he's providing what's best for me. Okay? So like that kind of trust the stakeholders should have on us. The next is being adaptable to different situations. And the last part is self managing. So, see, as a BA, you will be mostly working alone. Okay? So, when you are working alone, the managers should not come and question you that, hey, where how much work have you completed, what is still pending, what is still left, you were supposed to finish the work in 2 days, why did not you complete the work in 2 days? Okay, how are you planning to address the problem now? So all those kind of stuff, it should not happen. It's not a good thing. It's not just for BA, but even for other roles in the IT industry as well. We all are experienced enough, we all are professional enough, so we all must be self managing our work. Okay, if there is anything needed, we should be proactively reaching out. Okay, then next is focus on business knowledge. So business knowledge requires lot of different aspects, like knowing about the organization, whether it is the IT organization or client's organization. What is their vision, mission? What kind of product are they building? Okay. Then methodology knowledge, that is knowing about the SDLC cycles like waterfall, agile, knowing about the industry in which client operates. Suppose I'm working for HDFC Bank, and HDFC Bank falls into the banking industry. So I must have some level of knowledge about banking industry in general, then what HDFC Bank does in general, about HDFC Bank as well. Okay, so that this business knowledge will help me able to analyze data accurately. Without knowledge, you cannot do any analysis. Okay, so once you have appropriate knowledge, then only you can do this analysis part as well. Okay, and then the last two aspects. Okay, now these two are very important, critical ones, wherein a lot of focus is being shared on how you are communicating orally or verbally, how you are communicating non-verbally, that is through your expressions. Sometimes if you give negative expressions, or if your face says a lot of things, and then how do you handle your written communication as well. Okay, and like I said, a lot of time problems are solved just by listening. So as a BA, how well we are able to listen to understand what my customer wants. Okay, on the similar note of communication skills, we have interaction skills as well. So communications are more about communicating your idea to the other person through verbally, non-verbally, written format. Okay, interaction skills is how do we move along with the set of people we are working with. Okay, for example, you will be setting up meetings. Okay, so meetings are nothing but we call them facilitation skills. Whether you have good facilitation skills wherein you are able to run down meetings productively with less disputes, managing disputes during your facilitations well. Okay, working with the team, if there are any conflicts, providing resolution to those conflicts. So tomorrow, what we will do is we will just take a simple case of how do you conduct yourself using all these skills. Okay, so as a BA I must know how to conduct myself. So what kind of, certain small tips that will really help you navigate the path of your of the journey. So how do I ensure that I run down productive meetings? How do I ensure that I'm writing down more effective mails? How do I ensure that I'm communicating effectively? Okay, so tomorrow let's spend some time on these topics as well, so that we utilize our skills to the maximum possible extent. Okay, so these are again from my experience, that okay, communication is important, but how do you communicate? Facilitation or interaction skills are important, but how do you interact? Okay, what are the small things that you can implement in your behavior so that you increase the productivity of your interaction skills or communication skills? So we'll focus on these aspects tomorrow, okay, so that we again understand in detail and we can demonstrate that professionalism when we start working as BA, that how do we make utilization of all these skills that we are talking about. Okay. Now before we end our discussion for today, any questions?
Hi, Rahul.
Yeah, Pradeep, go ahead.
Yeah, for this experience, like me, like I'm having total 12 years of experience, and for that I am having totally 12 years of development experience. So now I want to focus into this BA role. So for this, like, how much experience I need to keep, like, I need to try as a senior business analyst or something like some assistant, associate business developer, just business analyst like that. So just want to understand like how can we able to match that criteria as well.
Yeah, so Pradeep, with your experience, so what happens is once you cross 10 years mark,
Mm-hmm.
there will not be anything like associate BA. Even if you
Uh-huh.
put 2 years of experience as BA,
Uh-huh.
given that you have overall 10 plus years of IT experience, people would still expect you to play the role of a senior BA.
Okay,
That
got it. Hmm.
given your industry knowledge, given your IT technical knowledge, given your good communication skills, interaction skills,
Mm-hmm.
given that you would have handled multiple clients during this tenure. So even if you
Mm-hmm.
say at 10 years developer, 2 years BA, people will still
Mm-hmm.
say that okay, work as a senior BA only.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
And
And
maybe in few
pay.
years, PO, product owner.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. And one thing like how much the pay will be given? Like suppose my having 10 years of experience, you say I can say I can put 10 years of experience into total development and 2 years into BA. So the pay will be the same or something with any variation they will show the, during the salary discussions.
There will definitely be variation. So ideally you can expect in like now is the tough time, and there will be less
Mm-hmm.
of hiring during November and December, and then again hiring
Mm-hmm.
will start in January. So from January,
Mm-hmm.
minimum of 25 to 30% on your current salary. Okay, irrespective of
Okay.
whether in your current domain, whether you work as developer or whether you work as BA.
Oh, okay. 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 Yeah. Thank you, Rahul. Yeah.
Sure, Pradeep. Any other questions, guys? Okay, I'll take the silence as no questions. Well, thank you everyone. We'll connect tomorrow on a different link.